Hello and good morning. We are up here in the garden again. It is the end of October and it is time to take out some of my tomatoes and get the garlic in. I will be pulling out probably like half of this tomato bed and a portion of this one, probably this back half here too. I also have some space over here at the end, and that will also be some garlic space. This year I am trying 4 different kinds of garlic. I've grown garlic several times, but the last few years I have done Susanville garlic. I got some from a local nursery and I grew their sea garlic once, and then I've just been replanting it for the last, I don't know, I think 3 or 4 years now. But yeah, I wanted to try something different this year. All right, so this is what I'm growing this year. I have my Susanville garlic. This is what I grew last season. I harvested it sometime like mid-July, and now it's late October, and we're ready to get them in the ground again. And then these are the new varieties I purchased. These are from Botanical Interest. I've never actually bought their garlic before, but I have grown a bunch of their seeds, and I really like Botanical Interest. They're a good seed company. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by a hummingbird over here. I wonder if you can we zoom in and see it? Oh, kind of, yeah. Yeah, she was just flying over my head. Anyway, get over the bird distractions. Back to the garlic. So, yeah, so I'm growing also this one that is called Music Garlic. This is a hard neck. I think the Susanville is a soft neck variety. And then I've also got this Inclium red. I don't know how you say it. That's also a soft neck variety. My winters are pretty mild here, so I can kind of grow either variety. They both should do fine here. And then the final thing that I'm growing that I'm probably most excited about is I have 2 bulbs of this elephant garlic, which I guess is not actually a true garlic. I was reading it's closer to leek, but it does have that nice garlic flavor, and they're supposed to be gigantic. Like, this is one individual clove here, which is like as big as the entire bulb of my Susanville garlic. But there's only 3 in this whole, 3 bulbs in this whole clove. I think that's right. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, these ones should have a lot more cloves in the bulb. So we're gonna get started pulling out some of these tomatoes and then prepping this section here. I'm gonna pull all this straw back, and then I have some compost and a little bit of fertilizer that I'm gonna throw in there and mix it all up and prep my beds. And the little hummingbird is back. She really loves the sages. It's super cute. All right, so bed prep time. I am going to start, I think, by taking out this section of tomatoes. They're gonna get pulled out. I'm gonna pull the last of those tomatoes off of them and see if I can get them to ripen up indoors, off the vine. And then I'm gonna prep this for our garlic. And garlic doesn't really take up that much space. So I'm kind of wondering if I really even need to do this other tomato section, since I have that whole big space in my, I don't know, caged and semi-raised bed. I do kind of want to make sure the garlic is in the cage spot. I'm gonna probably do my Susanville garlic out here, and then my special ones, my new ones, in the caged bed. We do have, I don't really think we have gophers, but we have ground squirrels, and they, so far in the past, have not really messed with my garlic, but they could, so I'm going to put them in the cage space. All right, let's get started. All right, so now that I have my bed cleared of my old tomato plants, I'm just going to go through and loosen the soil a little bit, add a couple scoops of my compost, and then I've got some fertilizer there. It's just a kind of all-purpose 432 fertilizer, and I'm going to sprinkle some of that in and loosely mix it into the topsoil. Then we're just about ready to plant. Okay, and there we go. Bed is prepped and ready to be planted. So this bed is probably maybe 2 feet wide. Yeah, it's probably 2 feet. Let's see, garlic wants to be planted about 6 to 8 inches apart. So I'm going to try to put 3 rows of garlic in here. I think that'll fit nicely. So I'm going to just make my rows like that. Okay, so now that I have the garlic all pulled apart, I have all my pieces in here, and I'm basically just going to go through, and each individual clove will turn into a whole bulb of its own. So this is going to go on the ground. This pointy tip goes up, and then the base where the roots come out, that goes into the ground. Some of them you can see are even kind of starting to sprout some little roots from the bottom already. Some new roots like that. That's a good one. All right, here we go. Okay, and that's it. Our garlic is planted. We're gonna now cover it up and water it in. All right, now that the garlic is all mulched, we water it in, and that's it. Okay, so here we are. I have my bed over here all nice and prepped. It's ready to go. We did the exact same thing as the other one, pulled back the straw and then pulled out any of the weeds or anything else that was growing there. I did leave a couple of calendula because I like them and they do okay in the winter. Yeah, then we added compost and some fertilizer, mixed that all in, and then I made my rows in there. And now we have the rows, and we just need to split up the garlic and get it ready to plant. Okay, so here are my 3 different kinds of garlic. These are the ones I bought. I'm just going to remove the skins and get my bulbs ready. I need to be really careful about labeling and trying not to mix these up. So I have labels that I made, and the rows are going to be for the different kinds of garlic. Look at how big that is compared to mine. That's crazy. That's way bigger than even the Susanville garlic was when I bought it from the store as seed garlic. That's amazing. Thank you, botanical interests. So there we go. Not as many cloves in there, but that's okay. We'll see what we get anyways, and then if all goes as planned, some of this will, at least a couple of these bulbs will turn into seed garlic for next year. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10. I was kind of hoping for more, but that's what it is. Ooh, this one actually has a little rot in there. It's kind of going bad. But I see there's these little nubs here. Those are the beginnings of roots. So I'm going to plant it anyway and hope for the best. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the elephant garlic. Not bad. Okay, and there's the Achilleum red. There's actually a lot more bulbs in there. I'm not going to count them all, but there's quite a few more. Some of them are on the smaller side though. I'm going to plant them still. But yeah, you can see the difference there compared to this, which I guess it's probably really because this one, the music garlic and the elephant garlic, are hardneck varieties. So they form larger bulbs and they had that kind of perfect little circle around that center hardneck piece. Versus the Achilleum red and I guess my Susanville garlic are soft neck varieties. So they have smaller, less neatly arranged bulb formation, clove formation. All right, planting time. Okay, so I'm starting with the music garlic on the left side, and then I'm going to do the elephant garlic, and then the Achilleum red on the right side. Okay, and don't forget our label. Next is the elephant garlic. That is going to go in this 3rd row. These I'm going to actually plant kind of far apart. I'm going to put more like 8 to 10 inches between them. They're supposed to be really big, and so I want to give them as much space as possible. I have all this space, so why not? 2 more here. I guess we'll put them in that little space there. Okay. And 2. Okay. And elephant garlic. And finally, the Chilean red. I don't know, space. Oh, there's 3 left. So we'll just put it over here. There we go. Okay. All right. Now that I have those in, I just need to cover the soil back over them, mulch them in, and water them in. But before I even get to that point, I am going to make a note in my phone about which row has which garlic. Because even though I have labels in them, they may get buried or disintegrate or just kind of disappear over the season. And I like to think that I'll remember what varieties I plant where, but in reality, I know I won't. So I always make notes of that. I have a garden journal that I write my notes in sometimes, but I don't always remember to bring that up with me. So if I don't, I make notes in my phone, which is what I am going to do now. So here it is. It's all covered again with mulch, all tucked in. I just need to water and wait for them to grow. That's it. Planting garlic is pretty easy. There's definitely some prep to it, but overall, you basically just stick them in, and it's October now. I expect these to be done probably in June, end of June, early July, sometime next summer. We could do another video later maybe of how you tell when garlic is ready to harvest. I could show you that. We'll look at the leaves and maybe harvest a couple, but that is like 7 to 9 months out. All right, thanks for joining me.